I know we're starting this panel a little bit late, but it's okay because you know what? Because you guys all waited so patiently, I promise you I might have a little small surprise for this panel. When I say little small surprise, I mean gigantic, massive, bestial surprise, okay? Does that sound like a good idea? Are you guys okay with that? Are you guys ready for the first panel of the day at Spookala? Clearly, neither one of us is doing this correctly. Are you guys ready for the first panel of the day at Spookala? Since you're so ready, how about I bring out our friend for the third time on a Spookala stage, maybe fourth? I don't even know anymore. Shotzi! Coming with her is Scarlett, and also the one, the only, Karrion Kross! Trying to get the mics on. Are all the mics on? Let's double check and sure we got them on. Test them out.
Hey, I'm Scarlett. And I'm Shotzi. And welcome to our Chamber of Horrors. Hello? Oh, we're back.
There we go. All right, so as you guys might know, these faces are very familiar to those of you that are cool people, that are kind of like me, that watch all the WWE television, right? How many people out here know these faces from TV? How many people out here like these faces from TV? How many people out here love these faces from TV? That's what I'm talking about now. Forget this like nonsense. So, you guys know their personas on the stage, or in the ring, but you may not know what they do off the ring, and you heard them talk about their YouTube show. So, Shotzi, why don't you guys talk about what you're doing when you're not getting the snot beat out of you in the ring?
Well, you know, as WWE superstars, we travel all over the world to wrestle all over the world. And in our travels, we like to stop at the most haunted places in the world.
And we actually brought some of our favorite haunted objects. As you can see here, we have Margaret. Margaret is
Big Marge!
Big Marge, you can call her Big Marge. We have our haunted booths, which we think carry a mimic spirit. And our favorite, I'll let you introduce him.
This is Pinch. He's my haunted clown doll. He's over it.
Cross, what do you think of Pinch?
I love Pinch.
Yeah.
The other two items, I'm being honest with you, it's going to take me a little bit more time to get used to those ones, but Pinch is my boy.
Yeah. So little backstory on Marge. We actually bought her at Dysfunctional Grace, which is pretty close to here in Ybor, and she's known to move. Like, they'll show up to the shop and her skull is just like turned back.
And the night we got her, we actually put a lot of cameras on her, and there were orbs coming in and out of her. So definitely very, very active. Which we brought some REM pods. We'll turn on at the end. We'll see if anything activates. If nothing happens, well, that's okay, because at least you guys know we're not faking it.
I actually kind of want to turn on a REM pod right now and see if it goes off while we're doing this.
Would you guys like them to do that?
For those of you that don't know what a REM pod is, it's basically like a ghost motion detector. If anything like disrupts its field, these lights will go off.
So it basically creates its own electromagnetic field. So if anything comes within its vicinity, the stronger it is, So green would be the weakest energy, with purple being the strongest.
I kind of feel like that was Pinch because I pulled him away and then it stopped. Pinch, was that you? Did you touch the REM pod? Can you touch it again? Do you like the attention?
Pinch, are you getting shy? Could be something else here too. I don't know if you guys brought any attachments with you. Could be something else.
Yeah, I know. There's probably more haunted things in this convention center right now.
So, Shotzi Scarlett, from time to time, you'll have guests appear on your show such as someone like Karrion. For some reason, he might travel with you guys. I'm not sure why, but he might be traveling with you guys. So Karrion, what have you, when you have gone to these haunted locations, has there been a time when you've been like freaked out? Been on
Yes! Hi, I'm the sane one here, by the way. So, I find all of this extremely fascinating, and I find it fascinating from like the ideological standpoint that there is something after this. So to give you guys a little bit of background, I grew up moderately religious in my early 20s, completely fell off. So my 20s to my 30s, admittedly, I didn't believe in anything. I was science guy. I loved to poke fun of this stuff. I actively made fun of it. Then I had a paranormal experience, and I was not looking for it. It was not something I was interested in having at all. I wasn't seeking it out. And for me, it was an undeniable experience. And I became very spiritual after that. Sometimes that's what it takes. I don't know how many people are here who have had like a paranormal or a spiritual experience.
Can you raise your hands if you have?
Raise your hands. Okay. So you guys get it? If you try to have these conversations with people that don't believe, they'll look at you like you're schizophrenic. Yeah. And so I find it cool that now I'm part of a community of people where I can have these conversations, and Shotzi and Scarlett have kind of warmed me up to be able to have these conversations more openly and not care whether people think you're nuts or not. So when I go to these locations with them and I experience this stuff, I think it's very cool. I still get freaked out a little bit because again, it's not something I'm seeking out, but I do find it really interesting, and learning about the other side and the different types of entities that you can come in contact with has been kind of really enlightening. And yeah, some objects I like being in contact with, and others I don't, because I'm not positive as to what it is exactly that we're contacting. So I let them talk to those things.
Is there any place you would never go back to, or any spirit that you wouldn't want to deal with again that we've dealt with?
What was the house we went to that had access to the underground railroads and the satanic rituals?
That would be the Mineral Wells Hill House.
Yeah, I don't want to go back there.
I love Hill House.
Me too.
That was one of my favorite spots. I think demonic AF, but
Yes, absolutely.
lots of
Highly
fun.
recommend.
I can tell you guys, and maybe there's some people here in the audience who have had this. So when I was a little kid, my parents always thought like I had an active imagination, so they didn't really pay attention to it. But when I was a little kid, I could walk into a room and I could feel that something really bad happened in the room prior to being there. And I wouldn't know how to explain it. Like, how do you articulate that as a child, especially to adults? They think you're watching too much TV or whatever. I had an experience once where my father took me to visit a friend. He just moved into a new apartment. This is in New York City. And I kept telling him I was 6 or 7 years old, I wanted to get out of the apartment. Him and his friends started laughing. And we went to go visit my grandmother afterwards, and my grandmother found out that my dad took me to this guy's apartment. She knew the guy who was living in the apartment before him. It was a huge New York City story. The guy killed himself. He committed suicide. And she was mad that my dad took me there. And that, I had a feeling I wanted to be out of the apartment. There was nothing wrong with it visibly, but it was a bad vibe. It was almost like, you guys remember when you were little, when somebody would leave the TV on in the house, but the volume was down like a static screen, and you couldn't see the TV, but you knew a television was on in the house? I still get that to this day. When I walk into a room, it's just a weird vibe. That's the best way I can explain it. I wish I could articulate it better than that. But does anybody, as a show of hands, do you have that sort of vibe? Have you guys been able to pick up? Okay, cool. So we're the crazy ones. Everyone else is fine, right?
Hey, you're at Spookala. Of course, this is where you're going to find these awesome people. That for sure. This is not 90s Con. This is Spookala. This is where these kind of people are going to be at. So, Scarlett, Shotzi, what has been your favorite location to go to where you felt like we actually hit the jackpot, so to speak, in finding a really active environment?
Well, my favorite spot was Lizzie Borden because we came in. Yeah, Lizzie Borden was a trip. But we came in with we wanted to figure out who murdered these people. Was it Lizzie Borden?
were so impressed by our investigation and what we found that they sent us all this amazing ghost equipment. But that was probably one of my favorite investigations ever.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Oh, and Scarlett levitated.
I levitated, and then Kross got touched in his sleep.
I didn't like it.
So if you guys ever get a chance to go stay at the Lizzie Borden house, it's legit.
Garnet House was really awesome too. We're going back there this month actually. So we're going to Sally House, Garnet House, and we're going back to Hill House actually this month.
Yeah. So those are probably like the 3 scariest demonic locations that we know of in America.
Garnet House, if you want to see objects actually move, get thrown right in front of you, we watched a truck move from one side of the room to the other. It was a toy truck. So if you want to see something like that, go to Garnet House in Kansas.
So you guys have had other WWE superstars other than Kross that have come with you. Who has been the most fun from this person was so scared and they just were totally freaked out, like you wouldn't have expected it to be that one?
Grayson. Grayson's hilarious.
That's true, though.
I thought we were on the same page.
I thought so too. I mean, Grayson is probably tied. I could give him that.
Okay.
But Dom is so scared.
Dom is probably the biggest scaredy cat that's ever been on the show.
And we never invited him. That's the funny thing. It's always his girlfriends who invite him. It's actually Liv who invited him.
He always gets suckered in.
Yes, and then Liv couldn't make it, so we got suckered in last time too.
Hey, we got him chicken tenders. It was fine.
Okay, so Grayson, you talked about Dom, so Grayson, you said
Grayson is hilarious. I think you like Grayson? You like Grayson, don't you? They agree. See,
Pinch remembers Grayson.
Pinch, do you like Grayson? What was that?
Come on up here because we can't hear you. You know what? You can step on up here to the mic and let us hear what you're talking about.
Jeff Hardy is like that.
Jeff Hardy?
Oh, she's in the paranormal. I mean,
She was saying Jeff Hardy's wife is really into the paranormal.
do you want us to bring Jeff Hardy on the show?
That's great.
That's what you're saying?
Everyone's like Jeff Hardy in this. Be on our show. Love that movie.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, Jeff Hardy would be like a dream. Like, he is my inspiration for wrestling, and if he was on the show, and his wife too, come on over.
That's crazy. Last year, you actually saw Jeff Hardy at Spookala, and you almost sent him to the chair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wait, oh wow, it's like, what is happening? They
Is that
really
Margaret?
like Jeff.
Can you make it go purple if it's Margaret?
Yeah, who
I'll
is,
tell you right now, if that thing went purple,
coming
I'm off the stage.
who's coming through?
Is that? Can you make
Is
it
it Large
stop
Marge?
in 3, 2, 1? Not listening.
No, they're like, no, I'm talking. It's my turn.
They're fighting over it.
Oh, I can't tell if it's a Large Marge or Pinch. We did hear a bang.
Yeah, we heard a bang
while
while
Kevin
here.
was talking.
Yeah.
I heard like someone punch this road case. So I don't know. Weird shit's happening.
Yeah.
So how thankful are you guys for WWE for giving you the platform to be able to do this show that obviously isn't directly related to what's happening in the ring, but it's allowing there to be like octopus arms of other things, other fandoms that are attached, and allowing you guys to be able to build this on their channel?
Yeah, I mean, we started before we started doing it on
we
WWE.
fought for it.
Yeah. We were
absolutely
like,
fought for it.
we were pushing for it hard to get it on their YouTube page.
So we did all the bookings ourselves, and we did the show ourselves. So it was really cool that they put it on their channel. But with the last season, we only got the 1 episode, so we discussed with them so we could have the possibility of just doing this all year. They said it was totally fine for us to do our own channel, so we were very lucky for that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, we were doing this before we started recording it, like just staying at haunted hotels in whatever town we were in.
So Shotzi, the last time we talked, you were coming off of your injury. Obviously, you were doing this the whole time when you were injured, correct? Did this help you to still feel connected to be able to create content while you weren't able to be in the ring?
Yeah, mean, this was doing all like the haunted stuff definitely kept me alive because it sucks. You're in this like Groundhog Day of going to physical therapy every single day. So I really needed this outlet, being with like my spooky stuff to get through it, and watching tons of horror movies. That's like all I did was like hunt for ghosts and watch horror movies during rehab.
So, gonna take a quick side note here, just because I know everybody here knows you guys from WWE television. With WrestleMania coming up, what is the match that's going to be on the WrestleMania card that you're the most excited to actually see as a fan of WWE? Because I know, obviously you work with the other wrestlers that are there, but there is some stuff that you want to see just as a fan. What are you most excited to see come WrestleMania weekend?
Tiffany and Charlotte.
After that promo exchange last night, I would say the same thing. I think it's heated.
Who do you want to see?
Cat fight.
Who do you want to see win that one? Do you want to see Tiffany come out?
Yeah, who do you want to see win?
Hey, you know what? Charlotte's my girl, so I have to go with Charlotte. She's been my homie for a while, and she's helped me out through my main roster run. So I have a soft spot for Charlotte, and we tore our ACLs at the same time, and we were going to rehab together. So I have this bond with Charlotte, so I gotta go for my girl Charlotte. And she's the queen. She's proved herself. I mean, Tiffany has a great career ahead of her.
I support all blondes, so whoever wins, I'll be thrilled.
So you want a double DQ is what you're wanting on this match? What about you, Kross? Who do you want to see win that match?
Well, that wasn't the match.
What did you say?
Most looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing all the matches, but I really, really, really want to see how things play out with Cody and Cena. This is a clash of eras.
Yeah.
It could be argued that Cody is from the same era as Cena, but arguably Cena was the king of his era. Cody is the king of this era. I remember hearing Cody once say, we're in the Renaissance era. You could call it the Netflix era, whatever you want. For me, this just seems like fantasy booking. People would have been like, I wish I could have saw this match. These guys fighting for all the stakes 20 years from now would have never happened. But this time it actually is. And to be honest, I'm really pulling for Cody.
Same.
And I want to say why. To me, Cody Rhodes is the representation of a guy who can come back from really bad creative, really bad booking, and all odds against him. And Cena can say that he's a Nepo baby and all of the catchphrases and whatnot. This guy had to leave and literally help create an empire, an opposing empire, leave that and come back to the place he was exiled from to get to the top. To me, he's the representation of a guy who had to be in the shadow of a legend and overcome that to get to where he is right now. I think he's an inspiration to anybody who hasn't had a fair shake in the business to be able to get to the top. And that's just my personal stance on it.
He definitely wasn't the chosen guy.
He was not the chosen guy.
So as wrestlers, when you see, you might have this is what your storyline is going to be, this is what we're going to do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it may not work as well as you might want it to. When Cena executed the heel turn, did you guys have any inclination that it was going to go over as well as it did and probably be what's considered the most significant heel turn since the NWO? Did you guys have any belief that that was going to go over the way that it did?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Come on, biggest babyface ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
You? Did you?
I was absolutely floored. I was like, my daughter was like, well, maybe Cena will turn heel. And I was like, nah, there's
He's
no
too
way.
perfect.
Yeah.
Cena's too perfect.
Everybody was like, Cody is going to go with the Rock,
in the armor,
or Cody's going to go heel, but I really don't know anybody that truly thought that was what it was going to be, and it was going to go over the way that it did, and it probably needed to be this time period. It needed to be after Peacemaker, after Cena was away for a little bit to be able to come back and do that. And the face turn wasn't really, or the face revival wasn't really working as well. To see him go heel is great, and I think it's great. It was really revitalized Cena's character, and I think it's helped a lot of the other wrestlers out there to have room to have their own storylines now. Kross, do you want to be able to face Cena as a heel? Would you like to be able to face Cena as a heel?
Doesn't matter to me. I'll knock him out in the parking lot if I have to.
Maybe he can join with you guys. Maybe you get Cena to join tonight as a heel.
I don't know about that.
I mean, would he wear like the leather and like all that?
I'll pass.
Would you guys? I'm not. Would you guys ever have Cena on your Ghost Hunters?
Absolutely.
I feel like I've asked him.
Yeah.
He literally told me, "You can't see me," and walked away. I'm not even kidding.
No way.
I swear to you.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
You're lying.
I swear to you.
Stop. Have you asked The Rock?
No. Not yet.
Scarlett's a go-getter. She will hunt for the top guest to get on our show.
I have asked Logan Paul. He says he's afraid of ghosts, but I'm still trying to push for that. So if you guys can tell Logan Paul to be on our show, I think we can make it happen.
Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you want Logan?
Paul.
You want Logan Paul?
Okay, what about Corey Taylor? Can you guys make that happen? I know he's here today. Everyone that goes to meet Corey Taylor, tell him to get on our show.
Yep.
What about Robert Englund?
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Freddy Krueger?
Oh my god, yeah, duh.
You want to go up to him and ask him?
If he doesn't have the glove on, I will.
Wait, he's not here today, is he? Who else can we ask today? Tobin Bell, where you at?
David Desmalchin from Late Night with the Devil is here.
I love how we're Q&Aing the audience right now.
Yeah, Tyler Posey's gonna be here.
Yes, Kiefer.
Hey, you've got
over here.
You've got a couple people that are literally walkers in their show, and Michael Cudlitz, and he's been turned into a walker, so maybe he might be able to come on your show. And
You know who my number one is though? Nicolas Cage. If we could get Nicolas Cage.
God. Yes, give me Nicolas Cage. I feel like I would be best friends with Nicolas Cage.
Me too.
He loves Elvis. He loves horror movies.
Who's your number one to be on our show? Wrestler or non-wrestler?
Ooh. I don't know. That's so hard.
What about you?
So hard.
Who's your number one to see on our show?
I already said Robert Englund.
Robert Englund's number one.
Freddy.
Let me get John Carpenter.
You could probably get Nick Castle as the original Michael Myers. He's a fun guy. He's a super
I'm
fun
sure
guy.
he is. You gotta be, right? Yeah.
So here's the thing. So normally we'll have you guys line up and ask some questions. Here's the thing. I know with these people up here, if I say that, there's going to be 417 people in the line, and there's no way we're going to be able to get the panel at the right length. So Steph is going to come around, and you guys know who Steph is because she looks exactly like me, but she's 1/3 my size. So Steph is going to come up, and she's going to get the mic, and she's going to pick a couple of people out at random that have their hands raised to ask a question. Not get into, don't if she doesn't pick you, it's all good. It's no big deal. But Steph's going to take the mic. So go ahead and raise your hands. And you know what? Maybe you guys can help pick. So if you guys have a question for Shotzi or Scarlett or Karrion Kross, raise your hand.
Come on down. Whoever wants to go first.
Just say test and see if it's on.
Test.
Okay.
Anybody who's mean to me because I don't pick you, you'll never get picked.
That's right, Karrion.
Please speak
Do
loud.
not,
because I have hearing problems.
I will not.
Yeah, Karrion might put you through a table if you are rude to Steph there.
That'd be entertaining.
I will sick the wrestlers on you if you are rude to me.
All right, raise your hand real high so that way Steph can see where you're at.
All right. Let's see. What's been your scariest experience in a house?
What's been your scariest experience in a house?
Probably when we were at the Clown Motel in Tonopah. I saw a full body apparition, but it wasn't human. It was a skinwalker. So it was like a photograph that came very quickly, but it got right in my face. I felt immediately been awful afterwards. I felt like this thing was very, very close to hurting me. We went inside after that, but it was when I saw Skinwalker.
Okay. For me, it's still you levitating.
That was scary. That was fun.
Oh my god. I was freaking out. See? Oh my god, it hit purple. Something strong just touched it. They liked it too. Whoa, okay. Damn. Did I just call?
I said if it turns purple, I'm out.
Something.
See ya, panel over.
We were playing light as a feather, stiff as a board, and Scarlett like lifted up this high.
There's just 4 people
It was
listening.
so freaky. It was so freaky. I'm still like,
Cross, what was your scariest moment?
Hold on, do you understand why I'm not totally crazy about this now that you've heard this? I just saw a Skinwalker, no big deal. Scariest thing for me, it was one night before SmackDown. The show was in Boston, and we were staying in a place right outside Boston, Fall River. That's where the Lizzie Borden house is. We were sleeping there. Long story short, it felt like something was sitting on the end of the bed. Like the mattress was, there was like a pressure on the bottom right on my side. I woke up. You know when you wake up in your sleep, you keep your eyes closed, you don't open them because you're hoping you can get back to sleep? I know I'm staying in a haunted place. I didn't feel like I was in danger, but I have work the next day, and this is not the time of the night that I want to be awake. So I continued to just keep my eyes closed, hoping I'd fall back asleep. Then I feel the sheets being tugged down the bed. And now I start to sweat. My body temperature is going up because I'm getting stressed out. And you know when you get really hot under the covers, you kind of stick a leg out to cool yourself off? So I stick a leg out, and so distinctively, I feel a hard tap right on my knee. And I was like, F this. I said it out loud. She's awake. She goes, what happened? I go, you're awake? You go, yeah. She goes, I've been awake for like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so. What's going on? And I said, I don't want to talk about it out loud because I think it's going to get worse. And she's like, no, just tell me. And I said, something just touched my leg. And she's like, have you been feeling the sheets getting pulled down? I was like, yes, I have. And she's like, okay. So she gets up. She's like, no big deal. She opens the door, she steps outside the room, and she says aloud to this entity, hey, we're staying here just temporarily, we're going to be leaving. She says the Lord's Prayer, she gets a different set of sheets because they're soaked with sweat. She changes the sheets, she closes the door, we get back into bed, and then like 3 minutes later, the door handle of the door twists and the door opens. And I'm so mad at this point. I'm like, I'm gonna drive to Boston.
I told him no.
Get a hotel because I need to sleep. So she gets up and closes the door. We went back to bed finally. And the way I kind of like describe it is, imagine there was a gardener snake in your room when you're trying to sleep. You know it's not poisonous, and the chances of it biting you are very slim. But it's still like a massive annoyance. It's a disturbance in your room. I never want to go back there again.
Well, I told him when the door opened, clearly she left, and I told her we had work tomorrow, so everything was fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
I have a quick story that we didn't record. On the last day of our honeymoon, my husband and I stayed at the most haunted room at the Queen Mary, the B340. And like the main ghost that's in there, his name is Walter. He kind of owns the place. I think he died in there. But my husband came in like all macho, like, screw you, Walter, this is our room. And I was like, babe, no, like you gotta be nice, like chill out. And like immediately after that, his nose started bleeding. And I was like, dude, you did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. And like, he did not sleep the entire night. Like, he was so uncomfortable, and he's never scared of anything. Like, we go to these places, and like, I'm not sleeping here. And he's like, no, why not? Let's sleep at Hill House with the demons. It's fine, it's fine. But like, that night, he was like, nope, I'm spooked. We gotta get out of here.
That's why you always respect the spirits.
Yes, respect the spirits, respect the dead.
All right, raise your hands again, Steph. Find somebody else. All right, right, she's back there in the back right-hand corner. All right, there you go, man. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Dean. Questions for Karrion. I know you do impressions. Have you been working on any new stuff?
So he knows you do impressions. Are you working on any new stuff?
No. So that wasn't, where are you, by the way?
Yeah.
Over here, back right corner.
Yes, Boston hat?
Yes.
That wasn't a bit that I was working on. Like, I grew up watching, I've been watching wrestling since I was little, so, you know, when you have a friend, when you're little and you watch TV together religiously, like Jesse Ventura was like the voice of our childhood, you know, and you watch somebody enough on TV, especially when you're little, when so much of your life is like pleasantly trivial. He was just always in our heads, so I just started doing Jesse the Body Ventura. I'm not like an impressionist, but funny enough, if something is funny enough to me, or it's really annoying me, and I'm around it enough, I can start imitating it. But no new impressions, unfortunately. Just trying to work on not getting possessed hanging out with these two.
All right, over here, got a question on this side. Steph's on this side. Find somebody over here.
Get beef. The girl with the tits.
Yes, skeleton tits.
Yes. Beef.
That's me. It's kind of two questions, but I'll be really fast, I promise. The first one, I wanted to know if you guys knew about Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky.
Say just a little bit louder.
The Waverly Hills Sanatorium in in Kentucky. It's an old tuberculosis hospital. Have you heard about that place?
Yeah, so
been there.
we actually did an episode there, but we only were there for an hour.
Oh, okay.
And we need to go back.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Because I heard that around like the Halloween season, they let people do like overnight, like, you know, things like that. So
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
Cool. But I also wanted to know if you guys had any like really cool international locations that you really want to go to in the future.
Dracula's Castle.
Number one, Dracula's Castle.
Dracula's Castle.
And I'm Romanian too, so I get to visit my grandma by going back there. So we're trying to like just plan it around our WWE schedule. But we did mention recently on a podcast about Waverly Hills why we had to leave an hour early. So while we were there investigating, we got a phone call from JoJo that Bray Wyatt had died. So that's why we had to leave.
Yeah, so
But we do
just
wanna
were
go
not
back.
in the mood for.
Dracula's Castle is definitely mine to go to, but in general, just to make this clear, I'm never seeking out these places. I only go to them because they ask me to be on the episodes. But I say that because like I'm speaking from a place where like I've had my experience. You know what I mean? Like I've had my experience, like sharing this super openly and personal with you guys. When I lost both my grandfathers, that hit me really, really, really hard. And I questioned a lot existentially, and I made contact with both of my grandfathers in a story that's way too long and complicated and difficult to explain to everybody here on the panel, but I feel good about what's coming after this. And like when I go to these places, like I said, I'm not sure what we may be communicating with, and I leave that to them. But I am a huge history nerd, and to be able to go to Vlad Dracula's castle, that would be so awesome for me. I think that's a really crazy story, the whole history around that time period with the Ottoman Empire and the resistances that they had to contend with. And for anyone who doesn't know, Dracula's based off of a real guy. We're at a horror convention, so I would assume everybody knows that, but it's a very cool story. If you weren't aware of it, definitely look it up. It's a real castle in Romania, in Transylvania.
That is wild. All right, I think we have time for one more question. So,
Lady in the yellow scarf has been very patient. I've been looking at you.
so
You've been very patient.
Scarlett is pointing somebody out. Who's the person you're pointing out?
Lady in the yellow scarf right
Oh,
here.
the lady in the yellow scarf, Amanda. say hello to the spirits. How are the spirits doing right now?
I just turned on my spirit talker to see if anything comes through, because that REM pod's been going off a lot.
Hi, Paige.
Hello.
Can't blame me for trying. So I know we're all super into ghosts, or we tolerate the ghosts on this panel, but as far as cryptids go, like Mothman or things like that, if there was a cryptid that you could do an investigation of in, you know, a certain area where they were, or like Mothman, would you guys do that?
I'm obsessed with Mothman.
I'm down.
Love me some Mothman. Yes.
Definitely.
I do like puckwudgies. I really enjoy the puckwudgies.
Which Pinch might be?
He might be that. He was also telling us he's a fairy. He was also saying he's a
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
I don't know.
We hope he's not a Wendigo, but we definitely think he's some sort of elemental trickster spirit for sure.
My spirit talker said we're not bad.
We are not bad.
Good to know.
But Mothman is something, I don't know if I'd mess with Mothman, because the true story of that is really terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying. What about you? What cryptid is your favorite?
Definitely Mothman. I stand by the fact Mothman did nothing wrong. I think that Mothman was trying to warn them, and they're like, oh, Mothman did it. Mothman's like, what the hell? I'm just going to go hang out in my toxic bunker because everybody's mad at me.
Isn't that every monster story?
They're just mad because Mothman has a nice ass. I don't know.
I feel like we have to go to West Virginia and find
I've seen
Mothman.
that. I've seen that statue. It's a good booty.
What about Cross? What about you?
No.
He hates Mothman.
No.
He
That's the
hates
best
Mothman.
answer.
First of all,
Is that a little too like tactile versus ghost?
well, I mean, that movie Mothman scared the living shit out of me. And it lived in my head for a long time. I'm also open to the idea that the movie of the Mothman is of the writer and director's perception. So it may have not happened that way.
Right.
Just like any type of haunting or residual energy that occupies a place, they're not all malicious.
Right.
They're not all trying to harm you.
Exactly.
Some of them are not even necessarily spirits, like the residual trapped energy. So for example, if you were to do an investigation in an abandoned subway tunnel, there was constant energy of the train and the people, almost like clockwork at 5 or 6 a.m. when the subway station opens up, there's people constantly moving in particular lanes. You may be able to go there and bring your equipment and get activity. It doesn't necessarily mean that those are people, right? So I'm open to those concepts. But for me personally, I don't want to make contact with entities that are lower dimensional. Like, even if they're harmless, I don't want to make contact.
Not even
I don't believe you anymore. I don't believe you. I feel like you secretly enjoy this.
No, I don't.
feel like you secretly enjoy this.
No.
Fairies are the only thing that I do not F with. Fairies. They're scary.
What do you guys think? Do you think Cross secretly enjoys this now and he's just... Yeah, I think you secretly like it.
All right, so I know that there's, thank you a lot. So I know that there's a lot of people out there that have questions but didn't get a chance to ask. So first, give thanks to Steph for coming out here and helping out with the mic. Okay, so I know there's a lot of you that have questions and you're like, man, I didn't get to ask the question I wanted to at this panel. Well, luckily for you, all three of them are going to be at a booth in the back corner for Connor's Cure. I mean, literally, Scarlett and Kross literally walked in the back door and literally walked up here on the stage. So that they literally haven't even been to the booth yet. But if you've got questions that you want to ask them, you can go over there. So why don't you guys explain to them really quick what Connor's Cure is and why you guys are here supporting this charity.
So Connor's Cure is a foundation that supports research for pediatric cancer, and WWE started it 8 years ago in honor of Connor the Crusher.
So yeah, we're very excited to be here today to support that cause and share our ghost hunting knowledge and just get to meet you all. So if you guys have more ghost hunting questions, we also have ghost hunting equipment at our booth if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, it's gonna be a great day.
Yeah, and watch our Chamber of Horrors on YouTube. We upload pretty much every Thursday. Check them out.
So you guys know, you've been to Spookala, so you know what has to happen right now before they leave the stage. We have a summoning to do of our own.
Ooh,
we all
what?
have to, the summoning is we are all going to say the name of our show photographer, and we are going to say it in our spookiest voice possible to see if we get the show photographer to come up here, because when he does, we're going to get on the other side of this table and he's going to take a picture with us and this great audience, okay?
What's his name?
His name is Corey. So on the count of 3, we're all going to say in our spookiest voices his name. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Summoning. All right, so you guys, let's give a big round of applause. Thank you so much to Shotzi and Scarlett.